Life in the country rolls along. While I'm refining my options for the house we'll build, my focus remains on trusting the timing and allowing myself to grow further into the dream. Each time we visit the land, I feel a deep sense of connection, growing stronger all the time. It's been a little frustrating with access, to be honest. While I am waiting for the earth movers' availability to make the driveway all-weather accessible, I've also been limited on the public road. I love the road. There is a section of it that is so like the road I grew up on. It makes me smile to think of how the full circle has come around in that sense. But the road also has a causeway with very shallow water running over it. During heavy rain it becomes impassable, but usually drops within a few hours. Recently, though, I couldn't even access my land. I'll need to add a 4-wheel drive to my list of expenses with the move, but for now, the house is more important. Anyway, we made it through and our friendly neighbours took us up to the top. We had such a lovely afternoon with them, trialling their new drone, which is the same model as mine. While they headed off to look after their bees, we discovered more of our place. It really is such an adventure of unfolding. Our neighbours brought their other buggy up for us to use to return to our car parked further down the road. Country people with big hearts. It's so lovely to be back where people are not afraid to connect with each other. My daughter often says how much she loves how friendly people are in the country, and it warms my heart every time. Obviously the dogs, who have become great little mates, enjoy being out on the land too. Even more so when there is fresh roo poo to be found. There are stacks of kangaroos around, so there's plenty of roo poo.
Oh, you stink. You stink. Oh no. You stink, you too.
No, we didn't ask you to come up here.
Poor wee doggy dog.
Smells like he's on a big, very big.
Oh, poor.
Here you go, dog.
Ugh. You're killing us, Tickles. You're killing us.
Needless to say, the car absolutely stunk heading back into town, and a bath awaited them both. But I feel so happy seeing their joy, and my daughter's, knowing I've played such a role in it. But it's not all about me. My daughter's dreams are very different to mine, of living peacefully off-grid and watching the sunrise every day. I've no idea where hers came from, but she wanted to experience a proper high tea. She's been at me for years about it. So we headed off to Sydney for a couple of nights and opened our smiles to all it offered. Eleanor loved it and came alive with the buzz of madness that cities create. I loved it too, but I'm glad I know myself well enough to not stay too long. She took the high tea very seriously, even insisting on how I wear my hair, though I did rebel and choose my own hair clip. It was all such a treasured experience. I also insisted we fill up on a freshly squeezed juice each prior to filling up on cakes. Creating memories like this, particularly now that she's at an age where she's likely to remember them, makes me so grateful to be her mother. What do you think?
It's crazy.
It was also healthy for me to revisit so many of my own memories from Sydney, particularly around the harbour where many of my former patients lived when I worked in palliative care. Stella lived over there, and on the next headland is where Florence chased me down the room, brandishing a broom. These stories are in my first book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. The nursing home that Anthony gave up on his life in was over that way. So was the sweet little cottage I recorded my first album in. But the strongest memories of all were around this little cove, Parsley Bay, with its footbridge and pocket of bushland. It was sitting against a sandstone wall there that I cried and prayed for strength after finding out my client Ruth was dying. It was where I lived when my whole journey with palliative care began. It's also where I was swimming the day Doris passed away, just hours after reuniting with her old friend. It has been one heck of a journey from then until now, and cannot help but leave me hopeful and looking forward to all the mysteries that still await in future years. We took the ferry to Manly and enjoyed a smoothie, a healthy balance for the sugar come down after all the high tea cakes. I don't eat like that normally, but I've also learnt that eating 100% healthy if you're stressed is far worse than an occasional indulgence when you're happy. The Ayurvedic path has taught me how it's all related, everything, not just what we put down our gobs. We can live a lot of lives within one lifetime. So many experiences add up to who we become. The world benefits from our efforts, and so do we. But rather than spend too much time reflecting on the past or living in a dream of the future, which we all naturally do, it's also important to notice the moments, all those little snippets of time. They can seem insignificant at times, but it's the combination of them all that makes each of us unique and makes our life blessed. I give thanks for the moments. And I give thanks for you.